What is going on today on this Wednesday? No, sorry, it's Tuesday. I lost days. I lost count track of the days. This is your girl Hannah and Mixing and Matching. How is everybody doing today? All right, so I'm coming to you to talk to you about a subject of everything you need to know about DMT. Does anybody know what DMT is? Are they familiar with DMT? Have they tried DMT? Are they familiar with DMT? I'm not even familiar with DMT. So we're about to do some research on this. I did a little bit of research, so just bear with me. We're going to go through this a little bit slowly and just talk about DMT. DMT is a hallucinogenic tryptamine drug that occurs naturally in many plants and animals. Now, speaking of that, things that produce DMT in animals are fire salamander, a hallucinogenic fish, which I looked up hallucinogenic fish, and there was actually a fish that makes you hallucinate, and it is called the Salema porgy, which is Salema, one word, and then Porgy. They are commonly known as Sarpa salpa. However, in Arabic, this small generic golden striped fish is known as the fish that makes dreams. Ooh. Thanks to the LSD-like hallucination it provides to those who eat it. So we won't go into all that because I'm talking about the DMT, but I'm also talking about things that produce the DMT as well. So also toads, like Colorado River toad or Sonoran desert toad, also contain DMT. Several sea sponges produce that as well, and also tree frogs. So these are a little bit about, what animals contain the DMT. Major plants also contain DMT, such as leaves or citrus plants. It's in the leaves, the seeds, and inner bark of the mimosa, which has become part of the DMT, which produces DMT. So let's keep reading about DMT, what it does to you, what's the effects, is it good or bad? So let's keep reading on this. It says DMT is a Schedule I controlled substance in the United States. This means that it is illegal to manufacture, buy, possess, or distribute the drug. The substance has a high potential for abuse, which is not good. No recognized medical use and a lack of accepted safety parameters for the use of the drug. Despite its illegal status, DMT is used in some religious ceremonies and various settings for an awakening or to obtain deep spiritual insight. We're going deeper into the DMT. DMT has been used as a drug for thousands of years. Use of the drug, these are a few, 4 different facts of the DMT, Use of the drug as part of shamanic, I think I said that wrong, SHAMANIC, shamanic ritual is common in South America. Side effects include powerful hallucinations. I've never had hallucinations before. Has anybody else experienced hallucinations? And if so, what have you tried? I've heard that DMT is also similar to shrooms, mushrooms, if anybody's tried those before. Due to the nature of the drug, DMT is known as the spirit molecule. DMT is a white crystalline powder that is derived from a certain plants found in Mexico, South America, and certain parts of Asia. It's typically consumed by 3 different ways: vaporized or smoked in a pipe, consumed orally in brews like ahusaka, Ayahuasca. Anybody help me out on that word? Or they snort or inject on rare occasions. I will not snort and I will not inject. I won't do, I can't do that. I just can't do it. The chemical root structure of DMT is similar to the anti-migraine drug, and it acts as a non-selective agonist at most or all of the serotonin receptors, particularly at the serotonin 5-HT2A receptor. I don't know. So when smoked, the average dose of DMT is believed to be somewhat between 30 to 150 milligrams. And on the onset of onset of action can be felt most instantly. And it says it lasts up to 30 to 45 minutes. When you consume it as a brew, it usually lasts 2 to 3 hours. There's different names to DMT, and it's called the DMT street names. One is called Dimitri, Businessman's Trip, Businessman's Special, Fantasia, and a 45-minute psychosis. Which one would you prefer? I would pick probably the Businessman's Trip or the Businessman's Trip. Well, I do like Fantasia. I do like that. Let's talk a little bit about the history of DMT. The use of DMT can be traced back hundreds of years and is often associated with religious practices or rituals. The drug is the active ingredient in South American brewed tea. DMT is used illicitly for its psychoactive hallucinogenic effects. Spiritual insight is one of the most commonly reported positive side effects of the drug. The vast majority of new DMT users are already experienced with using psychedelic drugs, and as is the case with the other illegal hallucinogens, users often obtain the drug through the internet. Okay, so side effects of DMT. The main effect of DMT is psychological, with intense visual and auditory hallucinations, euphoria, and an altered sense of space, body, and time. Many users describe profound, life-changing experiences, such as visiting other worlds, talking with other alien entities known as DMT elves or machine elves. I'd never heard of that before. And total shifts in the perception of identity and reality. When smoked, DMT produces brief yet intense visual. I already read this. Oh wait, maybe not. Auditory hallucinations that have been described by users as an alternative reality, otherworldly, or a near-death experience. I don't ever want to experience that. I don't think you do either. Possible side effects of DMT can include increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, chest pain or tightness, agitation, dilated pupils, rapid rhythmic movements of the eye, and dizziness. But if you take it orally, DMT can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Depending on the individual user, the DMT experience can range from intensely exciting to overwhelming frightening. The experience can be so powerful that users may have difficulty processing and integrating the trip into their real life. So that's a little bit about DMT. Now, there are different ones that have tried DMT. 11 celebrities. Let's go through those real quick here. One is John Lennon. Sorry, my bad. Paul McCartney. He said when he took DMT, he was better able to produce his music at a better standing in his life when he took the DMT. Miley Cyrus took this, and she said, when I was on a trip, and after she took the ceremonial tea, after losing her beloved dog Floyd to coyotes, She said, when I was on a trip, all I could focus on was animals. I was puking up different animals, dolphins and seals and giraffes. It was crazy. She said, while under the influence, she said snakes grabbed her legs and led her to this mother Ahukaska who walked her through the entire trip. Later, she told, I guess, New York Times that she went to a Chinese healer who sent me into a state where my dog was lifted out of my lungs and placed on my shoulder. I pet my dog for like 3 hours. So that's a second experience from somebody that has had the DMT. That's different. I wouldn't do that. Seth Rogen. We all know who Seth Rogen is. Seth Rogen, he's known for smoking cannabis, and he also enjoys shrooms from time to time. He credited magic mushrooms, which he called a very insightful drug, very introspective, for prompting him to make some real life decisions when he took this. When asked how much of his comedy sensibility was enhanced by drugs, he said, "That's hard to know. What I do know is that I've started reading more about drugs as I've gotten older, and what I've read has made me think, man, I did a lot of shrooms when I was 13 or 14 years old, dozens of times at a formative age. It's a real consciousness expanding drug, so maybe it's had deep, pretty deep effects." Ben Lee. Don't really know who Ben Lee is. So he as well did and he said when he did the DMT, he was actually, it helped him through his spiritual healing and his spiritual growth. Also Sting, he calls the many psychedelic trips he's taken to his life to be valuable experiences. Not all of them have been walks in the park, but he says he's always learned from them, which helps keep his ego in check. So Sting has done this as well. Also, Daniel Carcillo. He's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. He was diagnosed with 7 concussions and likely suffered at least 100 more, left him with headaches, insomnia, impulse control issues. And he said he even wanted to kill himself. So when we said we were very motivated to bring alternative treatments to the market for him, and he said he was able to take that and that calmed him down. Lamar Odom, he also was part of a psychedelic intervention, so he also took it. Chelsea Handler, she also took this as well. Joe Rogan. He said it's a weird experience when you're just trying to talk openly about how you think psychedelic drugs and cannabis are beneficial, or a lot of other different drugs, especially plant-based ones. Especially those ones that have some connection to organic life. I feel like you can learn something from them. This is what he said. From psychedelic mushrooms, even to marijuana, it says. They can be used as a tool. And also Mike Tyson. He said, the toad is a totally interesting aspect of my whole being now. He said on his hot boxing with, he had a podcast, or he was explaining how he reacted to the DMT. He said it takes you to a place that takes you to another dimension. Ever since he did it, he has had a miraculous change about himself. So, Paul Simon, he did it as well. So all of these ones, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm not going to say you're going to do it. It's just a little bit of insight. Mixing and matching comes with all kinds of topics. There is so much to talk about, but sometimes it's like, what is there to talk about, even when there's so much to talk about? So today I'm coming to you to talk to you about DMT. Like I said, have you tried it? You don't got to tell me, because I know it's illegal to do, but I wonder, if you have tried it, is it similar to mushrooms? Is it similar to shrooms? What's the effects of it? So anyways, that's a little bit from Hannah. Remember, I have been getting so many views on particular videos, usually my short videos, but I also want more views, comments from my other videos as well. So I've been getting hits, likes, dislikes. I don't care if I get the dislikes. It doesn't bother me at all. I was also looking around And I'm also getting views in Asia, Indonesia, where else did I say? South America, Asia. I think I said that already. So I'm getting views everywhere, all over the country, all over the world. I'm getting known for. Excuse me. My goodness. It's not Amanda's. Anyways, so remember, I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Keep on subscribing, keep on liking, giving me your comments, and you guys all have a wonderful day, and peace out.